Photographers are like Bigfoot's grandmother. There's plenty of evidence that they exist, and that's not a good thing. They're old, much more useless than they used to be. And they're hairier than you'd think. It doesn't mean if 5 of them came to me for help, I'd refuse. That's what monsters do.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So today we're filming on the lowly Sony ZVE10, a Steinbeck gift, out of the blue. Didn't see that one coming. No reason that should have been in that box. But here we are, and I wanted to see what it looks like with all my Zeiss lenses. So like, you're used to seeing the A7S III. Is this even worse? Probably better, if anything. Better color science, maybe? Side rant, I saw that it has animal eye detect in video, and I was like, oh, awesome. Oh, it doesn't work in HD 120p. Oh, that's a good one, Sony. Who needs it in that mode? For wildlife slow motion. I did. So for each question today, we're going to switch to a better and better lens. We're on the Zeiss 18mm 2.8 Batis, and that's equivalent to that on aps-c. Wow. Curious, how many cameras do you own? That's changed drastically over the past couple days because Steinbeck gifted us a flip video phone thing. That's cool. So now you have no idea the conundrums and the direction changes here. Gone is the R8. Once it lost me outside, I was doing a tutorial and you made me look like a jackass. Canon, never again. I was like, it looks so much better when you're stopped down. And I was out of focus the whole time and I was like, Sony would never do that to you. So I was like, you know what? I want to go into one system and be done and just live there and be happy and not think about the grass is greener over there. So I'm like, it's not going to be Canon, and I'll tell you why. The hard to edit files. I already made a whole video on everything that's wrong with Canon, but the menu systems are annoying. It's not fun to use it, just getting into different modes. The autofocus not being reliable. And then if I want wildlife as well, what lenses? All the RF glass, like so expensive and not even good. 200 to 800, you got to turn it like 4 times to get to 800. It's like, obviously Canon's not the choice. So like, we're redirecting that Marcus Pix love into other things. I just bought something stupid expensive for the Nikon, but we'll see. That's coming. So right now, I haven't even answered your question. Sony A7S III. I don't even want to put the ZVE10 on the list of things I own. I want it to disappear from my life so fast it's not even funny. So like, but ZVE10, Nikon ZF, which is slowly disappointing me more and more every day. Just the stabe. I can't believe how bad the stabe is. And that's like a deal-breaking flaw. How can it be so good for telephoto and so bad for vloggy stuff? They pulled a Fuji. That's what Fuji does. Amazing telephoto stabe, and then bam, shaky ass. They got the warpy corners, everything. They're behind. It was okay with digital stabe, but that's a big crop. So, any other cameras here? Boom, boom, boom. Blackmagic OG. And then it's all about the little guys. DJI Action 4, DJI Pocket 3. A bunch of little... These will come. These are going to be 3 separate reviews. Point and shoots of yonder year. Oh boy. And my Huawei P40 Pro, of course. Still old, reliable, slow motion king. Will never be beaten. So that's what's on my table in life. And am I happy with any of it? No. It feels like I'm going either into Sony fully or Nikon, but Nikon has shown me that that's probably not worth my time. So, boom. Answered. Let us switch. We are now on the Zeiss Batis 25mm Tony 2, equivalent to this aps-c. We're just in standard profile. Little couple tweaks. Sharpness dove off a cliff. And Sony color science. When you're making this many videos, how do you cope with admin tasks? Wow, that sounds boring. I don't like get coffee for myself. I don't drink coffee. You're a slave. Admin tasks like backing up, indexing. Indexing? What a professional word. It's like makes me sad to think I'm an adult. Use better words like fun, finding. Searching for old videos, I think Marquez said he deletes all footage after finishing a video again from the actual video, only keeping that. I've made many videos on this. Thanks for watching all of them. It should be required that you watch every single video I've ever made, take notes, and then ask a question, because I've answered it 100 times. But just to briefly summarize, I have little hard drives, little 16 terabyte hard drive that's actually 14.5 when you actually use it. Thanks for lying to me. You owe me 1.5 gigs of terabytes. So it's like, I just put everything on there. I render the video and only save that rendered file. I'm not Casey Neistat here where he saves the actual footage and he has like a warehouse full of discs. That's not my life. So like, sometimes it would be fun. Like, oh, I wish I could have went back and graded that better, and who cares? So it's a lot. It's always there. The trouble I have is, how do you remember what you shot on? Like when you're looking for a certain file that like, oh, I remember that lens. I made a video on it. What was it called? What year was it? Like it's somewhat easy. I'm pretty good at it. It's just I often don't title the damn thing with the lens information in. I should go rework it all, but sometimes I don't mention what I shot on in the video. It's a lot of pain. But like, for the most part, there's like pre-Thailand me, and then Thailand, 1.5 years, and then coming back, living with my mom in her living room, and then getting this place, wow. And now they're kind of just blending together. Like, I was here since 2019 late, so it's like 4 years, 4 or 5. And it's like, it's all like, oh, 2022, what was that? When did Flat Earth Santa give me all that stuff? That was 2020, was it? And then the world was insane for a long time, and what years were those? So it's kind of tough. It's just all memory and hope. And sometimes I get lucky. I'm like, oh yeah, that was the video. That's the year. It's not a great system. It's not foolproof. And I should relabel everything to add in Olympus 17mm 1.2. I've done it. Can I find it? No. So there we have that. Did you notice the tonnage increase? You didn't care. I can't tell if I'm in focus on this stupid screen. It's even worse than the A7S III screen. It's so hard to see the peaking. I got magnification on. I could be in focus. Voigtlander 35mm 1.2, equivalent to that. Huh? You've never seen it. Do you shoot in D-Log M on the Action 4? Didn't I just answer this? I just did it. Watch last week's episode. I'm presently in the middle of shooting my first video with the Action 4. Don't really want to mess with it until I'm done with this video, so I haven't tried D-Log M yet as of yet. Thanks. Why don't you just try it and see what happens? What do you need my advice for? There's really 2 reasons to shoot in both. If you're vlogging and your face is in the shot, normal mode will expose for your face and do HDR magic and keep the whole scene looking nice. If you're in D-Log M, it will only expose for the highlights. It'll look better, technically, but there's going to be many moments where you're dark as Satan's ass, and you're just like, look at me, and you're going to look like a moron, and it's fine, but that's it. Like, D-Log looks better. It does. It's like less sharp. It's less digital looking. And then you go into normal mode and it's like, okay, it's just easy mode. And it does actually increase your dynamic range because it uses HDR magic, whereas D-Log M is just like an actual regular profile and they all suck. But they're both good. Experiment with both, see what you like. You just use their official LUT on the site and then boom, it's basically almost the same as normal mode, just dropping that on. So it's just a drag and drop. I drag and dropped your mom once. So you pick them, and they're fantastic. They're better than mirrorless, but there's just times where you're like, I want to shoot on a mirrorless today, and you're walking, and it's shaky, and it looks terrible, but one day we'll find the sweet spot. I think it's probably going to be Panasonic. It's the only one with good stabe. So let's hope that they're releasing something soon. We are now on the Zeiss 55mm 1.8. If your camera can't make this lens look good, then you have zero hope. Some of these have had glimmer glasses and black pro mist and some don't. Whatever, man, you deal with that on your own time. how do you get audio in when recording on your R8? Yeah, that's a problem I still deal with. It doesn't seem like there's a good solution to get an XLR audio cable into it. Are you recording audio into a different device? Syncing the audio later? Oh my God. Of course I am. What do you think? This is not a cinema cam. None of these cameras, they all have ways that you can do it. Sony has a little XLR adapter thing right in the hot shoe. Canon, you can get the Tascam little box thing, 400 dingers later. Then you have some audio in there. Is there really a reason? If you're outside running and gunning, okay, you're not going to sync. But at home, when Steinbeck gives you a Mix Pre 3, what else are you going to do? You don't need it. I can see it. I'm not clipping. Not clipping. Still not clipping. I don't mind syncing audio for like a clip like this. Okay, we are doing 5 clips. I have to sync 5 things. It doesn't take long. It's like 3 minutes later and they're all synced and we're good to go and we start editing. But like if you're vlogging, sometimes I have like 19 clips when I get home. It's like, no, you're not doing external recorder there in your pocket. So if I go do 1 clip out in nature and it's just a long thing, then I bring the Tascam external recorder with a lav mic, boom. But like XLRs into this, what is this? The C100 Mark II over here? We all wish it was, but it's not. It's not, and it never will be. So like, are the preamps even that good? I imagine the Mix Pre 3 destroys them. So it's like, are you gaining anything? Most professionals record externally, no matter what their camera is capable of. So it's like, just do that. Okay, for the final loser, I want to see, can we use that adapter, 7 Artisans, to get the Canon 85mm 1.2 on here? Will it work? My God. We are on it. The Canon legend itself, 85mm 1.2, equivalent to that on an aps-c. What are we even doing? Yes, I am trying to sell it. I'm selling all my EF glass and we're moving on and we're testing new stuff. I like the rotational wheel of cameras coming in and out of my life, just flowing. Like, okay, Canon, amazing, skin tones, you can't beat that. Wow, really good. See you later. Let's go. Hey Nikon, what you doing, buddy? Not bad. This is the best image ever. The stage, so bad. Oh no. Hey Fuji, remember me? So like, well, that's what we're doing here. It's a roller coaster of life. It's dramatic and it's fun. And thank you all for the support. What are your objections to the 360-degree cameras? Thanks for making my workday a little more enjoyable. Quit your job. Just quit it. Okay, here's the deal. They're okay. They're kind of fun. They're goofy. It's just, it adds a lot of editing that I don't need in my life. And the image quality never looks great. It's always over sharpened. I don't care what's on the box. I don't care how big your sensor is pretending to be. It's just, every single time, it's just over sharpened digital hell, clipping highlights, cheap look, but you're like 360 everywhere. And you get a vlog back and you're like, you have to do all these waypoints if you want to change things. And it's just a pain in the ass to do. And it's not all that enjoyable. If anything, it takes away from the experience and it's distracting to look at. You're just like, what is this? Why are you doing this? Why are you moving the camera around? And people are telling you in their videos, like, you can see both ways. It's so amazing. And then they pan around and you're like, this sucks, man. Why are you doing that? Just film on a normal thing. So they suck. And I'm also boycotting Insta360. I will make a video soon, but they lie. They tell YouTubers not to reveal their sponsorship. And it's the first company I've ever heard to actually do that and be caught. So I cannot trust them. I sold my Ace Pro yesterday, and we're out of Insta360 forever until we find other companies that also lie, and then we boycott them, unless it's Fuji. Love you, Fuji. QCam or something reached out to me, and they're like, do you want to review our 8K action cam? I could not care less about it. It's not where it needs to be. It's just ugly looking. Like, the DJI Action 4 looks about as bad as I will tolerate. It's pretty bad, but it's still like quite good. It's good enough for an action cam cheap look. I would much rather be using a mirrorless, but like, I'll tolerate that. But the 360 cams is like way worse. And companies don't understand. I don't want over-sharpened, oversaturated, fake. Just make natural colors. That's the only reason Fuji's in business, because they have film sims and they actually look okay, unlike Nikon's. We'll get to you at some point. What the hell are those? Melancholy and shit. Weird names and worse colors. I'll leave. ZVE10. You could totally get by, couldn't you? Just pick a nice little Zeiss lens. Which one did you like the best? Started with the 18mm, oh my goodness. Then we punched it up to the 25. Little increase, a little more tonne. Then I went full manual with the Voigtlander 35mm 1.2. That was painful to use, don't recommend it. That screen's hard to judge the focus. Zeiss 55mm, come on now. That with the ZVE10, you could find both used for under $7, guaranteed. And now we're on the Canon EF Original Mark I, 85 1.2, and I will be comparing that potentially to maybe the Nikon Z 85mm 1.2. I don't know why I bought that. That was stupid. But I saw a deal. I was like, really? That cheap? It's like $1,000 off. I was like, all right. Amazon warehouse, it said acceptable quality. I was thinking that can't be good. But if it's bad, then I'll return it. But if it's glory, we'll see. The modern lens, is that worse? 3D pop, or is it compatible with this? How you doing? Compatible. It's a word. You subscribing? Do you agree with my advice? You don't? Subscribe to my understanding?